Let's go back to airlines. The world's second biggest commercial airplane maker, Boeing, says orders are running at just a quarter of last year's levels. Orders up to the end of July totaled 129, down from 522 in the same period last year. Boeing also has 89 cancellations. That's a net order tally of just 40 planes. Rival Airbus reports figures tomorrow. Well, I'm joined on the line from New York by Jim Eckes, who's managing director of the airline consultancy Indo-Swiss Aviation. Jim, very good day to you. These numbers show that the airline industry presumably still in the mire.
Well, the biggest problem for the airline industry today is worldwide. They have every kind of conceivable problem facing them. Fuel costs are up. Airplane deliveries are hard to come by because they can't get the money to finance them. And also they don't have any revenue, any high-yield revenue. And in addition to that, they've got the problem of facing influenza problems worldwide. Whereas the flu might not be bad today, it might be bad next month. So the airlines are facing a lot of problems, and that affects Boeing tremendously. And while Boeing has a great airplane in the Dreamliner, they can't even get it up for test flight. They announced in Paris at the air show in June that they'd have a test flight the next week, and then they had to cancel it, and they haven't given a due date for when that plane will make its first flight.
You know, Boeing says that Egypt Air converted an order for 2 twin-aisle 777s into an order for 8 single-aisle 737s, which will obviously do shorter-haul trips. If that's the case in North Africa, you might expect it to be doubly the case here in Asia. Are we seeing that, a move towards more short-haul? No,
we're not. Asia's got a wholly different situation than Europe or Africa. In Asia, the distances are quite large, except for Malaysia and Thailand, and therefore, I don't think we're going to see a downgrading to short-haul flights. We may see a growth in short-haul flights, particularly between China and Taiwan, particularly between Japan and China, and Korea and Japan, because the airport at the second airport in Japan, Haneda, is expanding its runway. So we're going to see a growth in Asia that's quite different than, or an expansion in Asia than in the rest of the world.
So the bottom line then, Cathay Pacific reported a profit, but that was due to fuel hedging gains. Oil prices are back up anyway now. It had an operating loss. Do these kind of figures continue for a while to come?
Oh, yes. Cathay Pacific has been very well managed in the last few years, and they have been able to take a big loss last year and eliminate it this year. Last year was due to fuel hedging costs. This year, the fuel hedging situation went in their favor, and they're doing a number of things to reduce their costs. They're taking employees, they're taking a wage cut, and they're also giving employees a chance to take a lot of time off. They're parking airplanes. Their management turns on a dime. They're very skillful. Singapore Airlines is announcing a loss this year, but last year they had a substantial profit. So all the airlines in Asia are going to be faced with major problems for profits for this year.
Jim, thank you very much for that. Jim Eckes at Indo-Swiss Aviation.